Every moment in time creates questions the human mind cannot answer. Out of reach, past all we can see, hear, and touch, beyond all we understand lies. The extraordinary.
We listen to bizarre and supernatural stories, told by friends and strangers, maybe with a little grain of salt. But now and then, someone so prominent we can't ignore comes forward, as in this story. It happened on Long Island, New York, to a very famous man.
Now, what I'm about to tell you is true if you want to hear it.
I do want to hear it.
You do want to hear it, then I'll tell you. I was never superstitious.
I'll give you a ride.
But then something happened in my life which scared the hell out of me. And for something like that to happen to me is something that I can't understand to this day. God knows how many years ago. Let me think now. 58, 59. It's a lot of years ago. Now, I just left off a date. Beautiful young girl since left us. And it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going home to Long Island after dropping her off. And as would happen, I ran out of gas. And I go into this White Castle restaurant. I says, "Is there a gas station open?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "You walk through the woods there." He says, "Get on the Grand Central Parkway, take it to the Cross Island Parkway." He says, "And the gas station there open all night." Okay. So I am, start walking through the woods, a wooded area, not the woods, going up, and as I'm doing that, I hear a voice say,
I'll give you a ride.
I turn around, and there's this guy in the Cadillac. And I didn't hear the Cadillac.
You hear the voice, and what do you see?
I see a guy in a white suit, and I hear an effeminate voice say, "I'll give you a lift." I said, "That's very nice." I said, "I'm going to a gas station." We get to the gas station, talking very nice. And I'm fumbling around in my pockets. And he says, "I'll lend you $1." Well, I didn't ask him for money. And the truth is, I was broke. And I said, "Well, look," I says, "you know, I've worked for the State Department, and, well, anyway, give me your name and address, all right? Allow me to mail it to you, because I'm very embarrassed." Anyway, I go there, I get a can, pay for the gas. And we start driving back to my car to put the gas in the car, and I thought that was very nice of him. And then in the clear blue sky, he says, "I know," I'm not going to mention the name, "I know so-and-so." And it's a baseball player. We weren't talking baseball. Oh, I said, "Who's he?" He says, "Well, he's a
Utility infielder for the Boston Red Sox."
Oh, it's so bizarre that he would say it in the spookiest voice I ever heard. He kept driving, get to my car, put the gasoline in. He pushes me to get it started, My car starts. I thank him very much. All in all, it's a very lovely experience to meet someone to help you out like that. No incident whatsoever. Go home, go to work in the morning, get out in the afternoon, this headline in the then Journal American. So-and-so dead. The guy he mentioned in that very spooky voice, age 20-some-odd, young ball player, under very mysterious circumstances. Autopsy and all that stuff. I said, "God, what a frightening coincidence." I go home and I says, "Hey, Ma, isn't that funny?" My mother, I think, was part witch. I explained it to her. She says, "Well, yeah, Telly, strange things that do happen." I said, but. And then I remembered that he gave me a piece of paper for me to send $1 to. I look at it, and there besides the address is a telephone number. Okay. Pick it up and I call the number. Jimmy's Bar. Oh, I said, "Well, can I speak to Mr. Cullen, please?" "Oh, Mr. Cullen, just a minute." Woman gets on the phone.
Who's calling?
Hi, may I speak to Mr. Cullen, please?
He's not here.
When do you expect him?
Who is this?
I says, well, I was with Mr. Cullen last night, and he gave me this telephone number, and he said I could reach him here. She says,
Look, you son of a bitch. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about my husband, and he's been dead for 2 years.
Anyway, I wouldn't let it go. I did get in touch with the woman again. I did meet her in New York. She came down from Boston. Because, you know, this is a little too much. The clothes I described were the clothes he was buried in. The piece of paper that he gave me signed James Cullen. She brought a letter that he wrote her when he was in the Army. It had Jimmy on that. Outside of that, the signature is identical. There was only one thing that was different. I said he had a high voice. She said, oh, no, she said. He had a deep voice like yours. Oh. Then it meant he killed himself. This way, right through the voice. Box, whatever. Anyway, this story happened to a guy like me, and as I say, it's been haunting me now close to 40 years.
Telly told us, by the way, that he'd always been a cynic about the supernatural. Until that night.
In this big old white stone building, the top floor was this big old ballroom that was in total disrepair. Labor Day weekend, on the way home, I had my dog in the car, and I thought, I'm gonna go and just take a look at the apartment, because that was really like going to be my new home. We got to the door that night, and he wouldn't go in. Absolutely would not go in the apartment. It was just very strange, and the dog was barking and carrying on at the door, and I just didn't know what the hell happened. So I get back into the elevator, and I say to the elevator man, gee, my apartment's so cold and the dog won't go in, and it looks like somebody was in there writing on the walls, and he said to me, oh, I guess Mrs. Spencer is back.
There were changing rooms on the opposite side from where we had walked in. There were these stalls that you could go into. And it was very, very dark back there. We would take a picture and use the flash as light, and it would illuminate everything for a split second, and then everything would go very, very dark again. And, you know, you're sitting there in complete darkness while your eyes readjust, and you don't know what's beside you, you don't know what's in front of you. And it was a very eerie feeling. The more we would take pictures, the harder it was for our eyes to adjust. And the air in this room, it almost had an electricity about it that really made you feel like you were not alone. It felt like, you know, like we were invading in someone's personal space.
I'm a Texas girl, so I really feel like I've always been sort of split down the middle. I loved culture and the arts, but I also loved horses and cows. So when Northern Exposure happened for me and I was cast in the show, I decided that's what I wanted. I wanted a Palomino horse. So I purchased Maggie, and she was just my buddy from the beginning. I mean, I almost think of beyond that. We just had a connection of spirits. On Northern Exposure, we would work sometimes to 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and a lot of my fellow castmates would go out and do this and that. And what I did, I went to visit her at the stables and to ride her and to make sure she got out. And I built an arena, had a special arena, so we could ride together. She was very happy. So I went out one day, and I walked into the stall and I didn't see her. And when I walked in, I saw that she was flat, lying down, and couldn't get up in the stall. so when she saw me, she tried to get up. So she got up, and she was in such pain. I mean, we just had to put her down. And it was really very, very devastating for me. A couple of days later, after she was buried, I had to journey back down to Austin to film Friday Night Lights. And I was just holding the steering wheel, driving, just crying. And then all of a sudden, this presence just came into the car and washed over me. And I felt as if she was just right here with me. So I was like, Maggie, is that you? And she said to me, it's me. And I was just like, oh wow, you know, I miss you so much and I'm so sorry. And she said to me, it's okay. And then a few days later, my daughter said she saw Maggie in the corner of the barn, surrounded with light, just shimmering with light. To this day, I know that Maggie is with me. She is my sort of my guardian angel. She's right here on my shoulder. When I go down to her stall and she's no longer there, I realize that, wait a minute, she is. She's right here. And I know that I can talk to her and she's with me. There's something very comforting about that.
I thought, oh no, it's the security guard. He's found me. And then suddenly I heard the security guard yelling from the other direction. And the fear just changed instantly. It changed from fear of getting in trouble to fear of the unknown. I realized that it wasn't the security guard. It was a much taller man. And this man walked towards me. He was looking in my eyes. And I was frozen. This man, he looked like he might not be from this time period. And he was angry. I was scared. I was legitimately scared. And then suddenly, he's disappeared into the shadows. And it was just so creepy that I decided to pack up my sleeping bag and snuck out of the museum and went home. I got up the next day to write my article, and I did some research. I found out that the architect who had designed this museum committed suicide there. He jumped off the top floor to his death. Some say it was depression, the end of his career, and in a last hurrah, he dove off of his great achievement, the museum that he built. Many believe that he is still haunting the museum today.
She wandered down the hall, opening up all the doors, looking in all of them. And I said, you know, like, let's just get out of here. This is not fun anymore. She didn't listen to me, as little sisters seldom do. She got to the end of the hallway, and at the end of the hallway, there's a heavy, thick door that's different from all the other doors in the hallway. I never even had gone that far into the house to explore the room at the end of the hall. And she opened it. And she walked inside. And she disappeared into the darkness. And I'm standing there at the top of the stairs, just waiting for her to come out, and she didn't. There's this sense of something was about to happen that was bad. Like my hair on the back of my neck started to stand up. The door closed by itself. I remember really clearly because it was like an unnatural motion. I don't know how a door could move like that unless someone was pushing it, and it was not her. I was pretty freaked out. I said, Ariana, what's going on? And she didn't answer. And then all of a sudden,
after a little while, we finally come across his grave. And then it was just so normal. It was kind of nothing exciting about it. It was just such a kind of a letdown. So we start dorking around like 11-year-old girls do. We were just joking, messing around. Standing on his grave, ripping him. We were making fun of him, you know, who eats his friends, and just kind of harassing the dead. That wasn't smart. Instantly, all three of us felt like we were being watched. You know, the hair goes up on the back of your neck, and all three of us were like, just still. Completely still. There are no words to explain it, that three people simultaneously can feel someone's watching us, what we're doing is not okay. And we all had the chills, and it was instant, we have to freeze. Don't move. And so we kind of whispered to each other, on the count of 3, we're gonna run back, we're gonna get on our bikes, and we're gonna haul home. And we just tore out of there, absolutely crazy. And we got on our bikes, and we were riding as fast as we could, and the entire time we felt like we were being chased. There wasn't anyone behind us, but we were being chased. Absolutely, we were being chased.